And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. All that and more coming up next.
If you're a Freeway fan, we're just east of the 405, one of the modern jewels of the NFL. Beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So good to be with you. Mike Tirico and Greg Olson here. Greg, as we look at this matchup, I'm looking around and hearing this crowd. They're so fired up for this one. What's it like when you come on the road and you've got a hostile environment you need to take care of?
You know, I always liked it. I always thought it added to the element of bringing some energy and bringing some juice, especially in pregame. But once that ball's kicked off, you want to settle this crowd down as fast as you can, especially on offense. Take them out of it. Get them back on their chairs, sitting on their hands. The more energy you give them, the more noise, it does make it a little less efficient to operate, especially on offense. So come out fast, come out furious, and see if you can take this crowd out right from the jump.
The kicker, Blake Grupe, set to start it. And off we go from SoFi. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So here come the Chargers, the offense getting set to come out, led by their quarterback, the 6th overall pick in the 2020 draft. It's Justin Herbert.
I don't know about you, Mike, but my biggest takeaway from our meeting with him was just how important it is that they get off to a fast start. He made it very clear. They wanted to put their opponent on their heels right from the jump. So I think early in this game, they're going to come out swinging right from their opening whistle.
And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on them early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Now the former Ohio State Buckeye, here's J.K. Dobbins. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. On the ground, here's Dobbins. A gain of 11 on that one. First down, L.A.
The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. With some success here early on the ground, it will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
Throwing on first down is Herbert. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Now Herbert on the bootleg. This throw taken in by Hurst. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. So you know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball. And in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. And their quarterback is the all-time leading passer for the Raiders, Derek Carr, the veteran.
If he's going to lead his team to a win, he has to be smart with his decision-making. The last thing you want to do is give the opposing team an extra possession solely because you got reckless with the ball. As long as he is calculated with those risks, I think they have a good chance today coming out on top.
And a good, hard run. He would not be denied. Surging forward to pick up 8.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
In motion is Hill. They're gonna go right back to Kamara. Kamara got a first down, still going. A big run, they finally get to him and bring him down.
Well, I'm not sure you're going to find a better example of just pure speed in the open field than that run right there. I mean, when he got past the first wave, you got the sense that he might just be able to outrun everybody on the field.
Ball down to the 16-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Kamara. And he's into the end zone. Alvin Kamara. Touchdown, Saints.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Seven 0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Davis now to return it. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense ready to see the football for the second time. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7 0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. Pistol here for Herbert. That's to the tight end Hurst. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
Now it's Herbert. He connects with Disley. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
Not every pass has to be thrown downfield. You can rely on the run after catch, especially a big body like this tight end. Get the ball in his hands early and let him pick up the rest after the catch.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll give it to Dobbins. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. The open man is Johnston. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, and that's going to do it. That's the last play of the first quarter. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. And we're back at SoFi in SoCal after this. Now it's Dobbins. He'll take this forward for about a yard at best. Demario Davis there on the play. Get him going, baby. All right, go get him. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Herbert. To the left side, catch made by McConkey. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Demario Davis there on the play. Second down and 8. On play action, it's Herbert.
Go.
That one complete to Johnston. That's his 3rd catch of this first half and good enough for a first down.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick.
This one is hauled in. Are the feet in bounds? Yes! Ladd McConkey. Touchdown, L.A.
Well, you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
Cameron Dicker, the kicker for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Chargers will level things out at 7 apiece. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Saints offense and veteran Alvin Kamara set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big opening after big opening and big numbers in this first half. The reception for Rashid Shaheed. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you could see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Carr working out of the gun. Open man, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
Mike, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. The easiest down to throw the ball in the NFL is first down. I hate when teams wait till later in the possession to throw the ball. So early first down completion, you're on the plus side of the field. Now you're thinking strike, touchdown, field goal. But either way, I'm coming away with points.
And that keeps them ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
2 minutes to play. First half, all tied at 7. Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. From the shotgun, it's Carr. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
It is brought in the end zone. Chris Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
What separates the really good quarterbacks from everybody else in the National Football League, Mike, is not only ability to process, but the ability to process quickly under pressure. And I think that's exactly the case here. He's able to go through his progression, find his target in the end zone, and then deliver that ball on time, accurately, and the result is a touchdown.
Group B now, on for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Saints will move out to a 14-7 lead. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. On the return is McConkey. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Justin Herbert back out there. He and the Chargers getting set to go once more. Here's 1st and 10. They send the tight end in motion. Herbert now on 1st down. There is his tight end, Disley. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. Shotgun now for Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
The Saints offense going to see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Back is Carr. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And he's not going to be able to get away. Very good coverage on the perimeter. It goes down as a loss of yards.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
That's over the middle and taken in by Valdez-Scantling. So we have reached halftime with these two teams separated by a touchdown. As we send you cross-country to the Sunshine State, that's where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. All yours, Coach.
All right, Mike, we'll take it from there as we welcome everyone into our EA Sports studios and our halftime report. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half coming up. On the return, here's Mims. Oh, he's got room past the 30. The Saints offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They'll start out first down and 10. To throw is Carr. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Well, fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play a man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
They'll run. It's Kamara. And a short pickup here, brought down just shy of midfield. They'll come up on a second down and 8. Throwing is Carr. That's caught by Hill. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
In motion is Hill. Off the play fake. Here's Carr. Taken in right side by the tight end Johnson. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. Out of the gun, here's a give to Kamara. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
Pretty much just more of the same from what we saw with this back in the first half, and he doesn't need much. He gets a little bit of space, and then he can create the rest. It's the combination of patience, vision, and then the burst to hit the hole once he sees it. This guy's been a handful all day.
On 1st and 10, Carr. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
And up until this point, this has been an incredibly efficient game from this quarterback. I mean, it's hard to think. Here we are in the second half, and that's only his second incomplete pass. So finally, the defense is able to do something to disrupt his timing and finally try to get him out of this groove.
Here's Carr throwing from the pistol. Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Here now, 3rd and 5. Carr now. He's got his man. It's Hill. His second grab on this drive, good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a first down.
Well, they finally are able to convert on a 3rd down. And, Mike, when you look back at a box score, some of the biggest indications of how well the game went, of course, you don't want to turn the ball over. How do you execute in the red zone? And then how are you on 3rd down? 3rd downs typically lead to long drives. Long drives tend to lead to points. It's not a real complicated formula. Stay on the field. The more snaps, the more plays, the better.
Carr now on 2nd down. The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive, and what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
Carr from the gun on third down. And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Here's Blake Grupe for the Saints, a field goal try. This about as short as you can get. Grupe's kick is good. And the Saints build their cushion to 10. It's now 17-7.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
He made the field goal a moment ago. Now Grupe back out to kick it away. Davis now to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Chargers offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. They find themselves down 17-7 as this drive starts 1st and 10. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Here's Dobbins. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes 3rd and 6. Johnston motioning over. Throwing is Herbert on 3rd down. And it looks like he's going to have the 1st down. What great work after the catch to extend the drive.
Critical 3rd down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the 4th quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
Throwing on 1st down is Herbert. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. He connects with Disley. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a 1st down.
Things certainly look a little improbable right now, Mike, but I wouldn't say impossible. I think they've got to capitalize on this possession to pick up some points. Every single possession right now is priceless. Points, possessions, and then they got to get some defensive stops.
And they'll take this down inside the 35.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Herbert to the air again. The open man is Johnston. He's got it. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by the rookie from Alabama.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. Mike, it's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
The Saints offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with first down. On the ground, it is Jamal Williams. And that one going to be closed down in the backfield. Great defensive play. Knifing in and dropping him for a loss.
At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
On the handoff, it's Kamara. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. A run here with Kamara. And he'll be taken down around the 29-yard line. And now at 1:52, the defense will pull the plug there as they take a timeout. The Saints will punt this one away. Back deep is Darius Davis. A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Chargers as they get set to take over once more. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming, getting started with 1st and 10. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
They'll drop to throw. He throws right side down the field, and it is brought in. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. One timeout at their disposal, but the more pressing need, they have to score twice. It's 1st and 10. There's that man again. Another catch.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. And that's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started.
Throwing is Herbert on 3rd down. That's deep for the back of the end zone. That one is batted away, incomplete. No separation that time, tightly defended. It brings up 4th down.
It's hard to play that ball any better than the way that defender did right there. I mean, to stay patient throughout the entire play and make sure that not only are you in prime position to make it, but then once the ball is there, attack it, knock it down, and save a touchdown.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And they are indeed back within one score.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens, but we can see here an onside kick, not much of a chance.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. One final kneel down here inside the 40-second mark should be enough to put this one on ice. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So this one, a win for the Saints. They were the aggressors from the start, able to dictate the pace of play, and in the end, they come away with the victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.